The split between Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn is not as amicable as sources were first saying.
Albums like Lover, Evermore, and Midnights, there's been songs about Taylor accusing Joe of something massive.
He's got really blue eyes, and I struggle with eyes that blue.
Joe's co-star Emma Laird just posted this recent photo of him on her Instagram.
This photo of herself out on a late night rendezvous in England.
Taylor Swift's fans are angry with her ex, Joe Alwyn. They accuse him of cheating on her while on set, and she has every right to be upset with him. But it seems like Taylor is trying to protect him and move on. She's already been linked with the lead singer of the 1975 Matty Healy, and some reports claim that they are already dating. So this is a messy situation. Let's get into it. Taylor Swift is one of the most successful people in entertainment, and everyone thinks they know everything about her love life, but they don't. And she's had a pretty private relationship for the past 7 years, which now has a messy ending. So we're going to be talking about all of the rumors in this video, and people are curious to whether Joe Alwyn cheated on Taylor Swift. To give you guys some backstory, the couple began secretly dating in 2016 after meeting at the Met Gala. In fact, they were so discreet that when Joe was asked about his relationship with Taylor Swift, he refused to comment on their romance. I understand why Taylor would want her relationship to be private, because people have kind of developed a reputation around her identity because of the boyfriends she's had and the music she's made. But through the years, we have had little signs that they were together, and in 2020, she came out with the album Folklore, which is my personal favorite, and he co-wrote a couple of songs on that album. So he's been involved in her career and her life throughout the years. We just really haven't heard much about them as a couple. But after more than 6 years together, Entertainment Tonight reported in April 2023 that Taylor and Joe had broken up. It was, quote, not dramatic. The relationship had just run its course. The insider explained that that's why Joe hasn't been seen at any of Taylor's latest concerts. That's what the sources want us to know. And usually when there's a scandal, a celebrity and their team will send their sources out to go and write the narrative. But there's something fishy going on here.
First, let's discuss who he could have possibly been cheating on her with. Right now, Joe Alwyn is filming a movie called The Brutalist. I've never heard of it, must not be making any waves. That could explain his financial troubles. But he's co-starring in this movie alongside actress Emma Laird.
Maybe Taylor's being the bigger person and trying to create a safe place for Joe moving forward, because her fans are pretty intense. And if he had been cheating with his co-star Emma, then he's done for. As for now, neither Taylor or Joe have officially commented on their split, but these sources added that it's more of Taylor's decision to break up, although both of them realized that they probably weren't great for each other, which that's an interesting realization to have 6 years into a relationship. Another red flag is that they were supposedly talking about getting married these past few months. So how do you suddenly break up and realize that you're not right for each other if you were planning on getting married? And they were going to buy a house together, literally looking at homes to close on. So their relationship seemed to be progressing, but I have a feeling something happened, and that's why Taylor kicked him out.
Taylor and Joe were looking to buy this London house just last month, then breaking up just a few weeks later. Another reason I do believe Joe may have cheated is that this has been a common theme in their relationship. In albums like Lover, Evermore, and Midnights, there's been songs about Taylor accusing Joe of something massive. Then the songs usually end with Taylor admitting maybe she was overthinking, paranoid, or Joe gaslit himself out of it.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but Joe didn't really seem too happy in those photos. And I also found another TikTok where you can see Taylor and Joe are out and about, and maybe he's just shy and he doesn't like the paparazzis, but these photos compared to photos he has taken with other people, he just seems so much happier, which I think is something to take note of. Now let's break down these rumors that Joe had cheated on Taylor with Emma, because Taylor is arguably the most famous singer right now. So I feel like you don't cheat on extremely famous people because you're not going to get away with it. Joe's co-star Emma actually posted a photo of him on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023, and captioned it "Moments in March" with a heart emoji.
Some Swifties have even started to throw cheating allegations around after Joe's co-star Emma Laird just posted this recent photo of him on her Instagram.
Here's that post she made of him, and she tagged him. She had to take down the comments because people started connecting the dots. Fans are bothered that Joe and Emma are hanging out late at night, riding scooters together on the town, probably after having a long day together on set. A lot of Swifties also accuse Emma of trying to instigate this situation further, knowing what she's doing by posting a photo of Joe while he's in this breakup mess with Taylor. It seems like Emma just needs to log out of social media because she was allegedly seen liking social media posts about Joe and Taylor's breakup. Someone writes, "Wait, this is the same girl that's been liking posts about their breakup. Everybody's got the tea." Swifties are threatening her that these cheating rumors better not be true, while other people expressed that Emma and Joe are just friends and they're linked professionally, stressing that there's no real evidence of cheating out there. But maybe things have changed because it seems like they're getting closer now. A source told The Sun that Emma has been there for Joe since news of his split from Taylor. Joe struggles with fame and enjoyed hanging out with Emma in Hungary, where he wouldn't be recognized.
Started implicating herself in January when she posted this photo of herself out on a late night rendezvous in England. We're not sure who she's with, but there's these green scooters in the shot and she's looking very dressed up cute. And then right after their breakup was announced in April, Emma posts this photo with the caption "Moments in March" with the same exact green scooter with the pouches on it, and Joe Alwyn is riding the scooter.
So why does Emma need to lie about when this was posted? She's posting her pictures in January, posting his pictures in April, claiming that it's March, probably trying to mess up this timeline. And it makes sense because now there are articles being written pointing fingers at Emma that she's the other woman.
You might say, Patty, you're overreacting, but why is Harper's Bazaar writing an article titled "Who is Emma Laird, Joe Alwyn's rumored new girlfriend?" Now hold on with that before this woman gets the Hailey Bieber treatment. Well, that's already happening, love. It's already happening, isn't it? She had to turn off her Instagram comments. Swifties are leaving her hate.
It seems like Emma's getting the brunt of hate for this supposed on-set relationship that's going on here. We really don't know, but all the backlash is really creating the smoke that's pointing to the fire. For example, now Joe is unfollowed by all of these Hollywood celebrities that previously supported his relationship with Taylor. Ryan Reynolds is actually one of Joe and Taylor's good friends. Ryan wrote a piece about Joe in support of him, but now he's unfollowing him, and that comes after he had a dinner with Taylor Swift and probably heard whatever Joe did to her.
Dumois just shared more evidence that the split between Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn is not as amicable as sources were first saying. A new blind item points out that Taylor's brother, the Haim sisters, and Ryan Reynolds have all unfollowed Joe on Instagram, and the timing of Ryan Reynolds' unfollow seemingly comes after he and Blake Lively just caught up with Taylor in New York City.
Some people agree that Joe is now receiving his karma for cheating on Taylor, and now people don't want to be associated with him. A blind item came out on April 18th, 2023, and they write that on April 11th, the A-list singer did some striking back of her own by throwing the foreign-born actor under the bus about the lack of his career. Will she really go that deep and talk about the cheating, or save it for new music? And this was supposedly Taylor and Joe. Well, fans are putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and Taylor is currently on tour, and each night she does like a secret song, so a song that's different from each show on the set list. And I guess at her Houston, Texas concert, she surprised the crowd with a performance of her hit, "You're Not Sorry." The song expresses her refusal to accept an apology from a former partner who has proven themselves untrustworthy. Some people blamed Joe for the choice of this tune, with one person asking Twitter, "What did you do, Joe?" It also seems like Taylor's trying to show some hints through her performances, like putting a big L on her forehead while she's singing. There are also viral clips of Taylor getting emotional on stage while singing because of what she's currently going through with Joe. I guess this is a good time to have a scandal because she's on tour and everyone's supporting her and looking for every little inkling of a hint of what could be going on in her personal life.
Everybody in her camp was tired of another mock-up romantic endeavor. She's a force of nature, but her "my music is my life" attitude and her new stage persona, "your penis will shrink its way to your butthole," according to one of her close friends, is the reason behind white, vapid, privileged vanilla celebrities gallantly avoiding her. Okay, so Taylor is finding herself and becoming a little rebel.
Now let's get into the clip that inspired me to make this video. And it actually involves Shawn Mendes, who is one of Taylor's good friends. Well, there's a clip back from 2021 where Shawn is caught lying about Taylor Swift's boyfriend being a nice guy. It comes from one of those lie detecting videos, which are typically fake, but it seems like Shawn kind of slipped up in this video. They asked Shawn about his thoughts on Joe, Taylor's boyfriend, and they called him out lying, claiming that he was being deceptive when saying that he's a sweet guy. Let's go ahead and react to what Shawn has to say about Joe.
You toured with Taylor Swift in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Have you remained friends ever since?
Yeah. I just think this photo is so funny. It looks so big and awkward.
Do you guys still text?
Yeah. I always am asking her for advice on music.
When was the last time you texted?
Maybe a month ago. So whatever that counts for, as still texting.
Do you approve of Taylor's current boyfriend, Joe Alwyn?
I've never personally met Joe, but he looks like a sweet guy.
You're not telling the truth. You're being deceptive.
I'm lying a little bit. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of got a little bit of a villain look about him. I mean, he looks like a nice guy, but like he like at any like movement could turn into a villain, you know. But
it's a little bit awkward. And then Shawn goes on to say that he's got really blue eyes, and I struggle with, blue eyes. Like, I find it much easier to trust people with brown eyes. Then he awkwardly pauses and says that he talked way too much about him, which makes me feel like Shawn does have feelings about Joe, and maybe it's because of what he's heard from Taylor.
He's got really blue eyes, and I struggle with like eyes that blue, like I find it easier to trust brown eyes. I was talked way too much about him.
Of course, people were loving Shawn's comments about Joe on social media. Some people wrote that Joe Alwyn failed the Shawn Mendes vibe check. Another person shared a meme on Twitter, Shawn Mendes talking about Joe Alwyn, and they write that he's a villain. Another person writes, Shawn Mendes thinks Joe Alwyn is a villain because he has blue eyes. Which I agree, seems kind of an awkward stance to have, but also it's telling now knowing that maybe Joe had been cheating on Taylor. I guess it doesn't really matter what Shawn has to say at the end of the day, because some people think that Taylor Swift has already moved on with Maddie Healy. So Maddie Healy is actually the lead singer from the band The 1975. Since these rumors have begun, the Swift fans have gone into full detective mode, and they're already questioning how Taylor and Maddie are exchanging romantic messages while on stage. There have been multiple sightings of Maddie Healy at Taylor's shows. He went to all 3 nights of her Nashville Eras tour. And now that they're being spotted together, people are starting to look at their past, and it seems like they have been in contact ever since November 2014. Actually, Taylor attended one of his shows back in LA, and they exchanged numbers behind stage.
And if your mate had just met Taylor Swift, you're going to ask him about that, right? Because it's Taylor Swift. Yeah, we met each other. We exchanged numbers in the same way that a lot of people in this kind of world do. And we spoke occasionally, and then she's the biggest pop star in the world. I'm in Australia. There's no like relationship or anything happening. It's just funny how people really, really buy into.
So you can see Maddie addressing the dating rumors that actually started back in December 2014. And he said that, nothing really happened, which I believe him. It actually seems like Maddie is anti-Taylor at some point. He said that dating her would have been emasculating. He said, it's just interesting to me how interested the world is about Taylor Swift. The reason why I mentioned this is because if I had properly gone out with Taylor Swift, I would have been in effing hell. He wouldn't want to be known as Taylor Swift's boyfriend. He says it's demasculating, and I mean, I guess I kind of, I mean, it seems very toxic masculinity. Like you can't handle your, partner being more successful or more famous than you. But I also understand what he means, because at this point in 2016, all of her boyfriends, ex-boyfriends have kind of gone through the ringer. And that's not necessarily Taylor's fault. That's because the world is interested in her. And he actually had to walk back his statement in a future interview. A lot of people didn't like what he had to say about her. And I'm glad he did, somewhat apologize. But now moving on to January 2023, he is seen at her shows, and she even did a surprise appearance at one of his shows in London. Moving on to May 2023, The Sun reports that they are officially dating. Supposedly, Taylor and Maddie had since fallen in love over FaceTime. Quote, "It's in its super early days, but it feels right." This source claims that they first dated very briefly almost 10 years ago, which Maddie would argue against, but timing just didn't work out. Both Maddie and Taylor have been touring over the past few weeks, so there's been a lot of FaceTime and texting communications. She cannot wait to see him again. Moving on to the next day, a day after we heard about the dating rumors, Maddie is seen performing She's American in the Philippines, and he allegedly told the crowd she is before singing the verse. One fan tweeted, adding She's American back to the set list right after the Taylor rumors is the funniest thing Maddie has ever done. Maddie quickly came back to America and was seen at Taylor's concerts, like we discussed earlier on, dancing to Shake It Off and having a great time. Then Taylor further fuels the fire because she gives like the same exact message that he gave during his show to him during her performance of Cardigan. And it seems like we're just watching this relationship like play out in real time. On the second day of her show in Nashville, he actually ends up performing with one of the openers. So we went from standing in the crowd the following night, sending I love you messages to each other, and then now he's on stage the following day. After the show that night, there were photos taken of Taylor and Maddie in the back of a car on their way to her Nashville condo. By May 28th, we have a new report from Entertainment Tonight claiming that these two are inseparable and they've been reconnected by their friend Jack Antonoff. And that's the latest we have in the Taylor Swift news. I mean, if her and Maddie get together, they would be a cute couple. It does kind of seem like a rebound, but maybe, she's been checked out of her relationship with Joe for a long time. And if he had been cheating on her too, I get it. You can't look at someone the same after they do those things to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was difficult to put everything together, but I hope it makes sense and you guys can see that it looks like Taylor Swift is headed down a better path. And you know what? If Joe was caught cheating up with Emma and that's his prerogative, then he has to live with that. At the end of the day, Taylor's going to continue to have support. So let's go ahead and see what happens with this new relationship. But until next time, I will see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.